Game number one. Man, look at these names. So game number one, it looks to be on Alfheim. That's for sure. Alfheim. Yep, it's Alfheim. And we look at the DoD here in the bottom. So we've got Shelty as Aranos, Joe as Ra, Skady as Hades. Skady Hades. Going over to these elk over here. So, I'm wondering if this is maybe DoD's home map. Because they got Joe, who's a pretty strong Egyptian player, especially in team games. And this is a good Egyptian map. Their opponents, JSS. This is Nolus. He's got a new name that he uses now. Nolus likes to change names quite rapidly. So this is his new name, Abysmi. I call him Nolus. And we've got Dauber as Ra. You know, this could be JSS's map if they have Dauber playing. Because he is pretty much only Ra. And he's their pocket. So we've got pocket Ras for both players. And then on the right, we've got Miracle as Aranos. So wait a minute here. Aranos, Ra, Hades. Aranos, Hades, Ra. And not only is it the same gods, they're all matched up against each other. Aranos versus Aranos. Ra pocket, Ra pocket. And then Hades flank, Hades flank. That's cool. That is cool because with everything being the same, we'll get to see how things differ and kind of compare. So that's kind of fun to see. We got the Aurochs spawn down here, and I think I got an Aurochs at the top. So this buddy is here, and this one is dead. Who is the Pharaoh? In fact, not only who is the Pharaoh, but what is he holding? Armor Anvil of Hephaestus, which makes armory and upgrades 10% cheaper, which isn't that great. But the Pharaoh is Dr. Mahdi. So Dr. Mahdi, haven't seen him around in a while. He might be a European player, so he wouldn't be around when I'm normally around. Speaking of Alfheim, there'll be a lot of relics. Armor of Achilles, which makes infantry hack armor better. Nose of the Sphinx, right next to the Hades player, which that is good. Because this relic makes buildings 15% stronger as far as hit points. Sistrum of Bast, villagers 10% cheaper. Harder's Folly, scouts have more line of sight. Bleh. Arrows of the Alfar makes buildings do more pierce damage. Another great Hades relic. Walls cheaper. Golden Lions. The Olsberg Wagon. Wow, there's some loaded relics on this map. This is one of the best team game relics that makes caravans 25% cheaper. They also move 15% faster. That's huge. Guy's Book of Knowledge. That's useless. Won't not even talk about it. And there might be a few more. Already see a little bit of a difference though. Is Miracle is going for a 4-minute advance. Shelty is going for a 4:30 advance for our oracles here. And that means he is going to maybe, if he shockwaves this. Oh, it went the wrong way though. Would have liked to have shockwaved it. It got to block him off from the tree line here. So Shelty's trying to drag him into with the other citizen to speed him up, but oh, he's gonna run to the tower. He's gonna get away. Oh man. Partially due to the poor shockwave. The aim was poor and it bounced it this way. If the shockwave would have been aimed a little bit better and bounced the citizen against the tree line, it would have been a dead citizen. So little things like that can make a big difference. Now this does push Shelty into his base. We saw some idle citizen time. Also forced out the sentinels right away early on. There's another villager back here. The downside of valoring your heroes is that you don't get a valored citizen, and those gather 10% faster, and it starts building up. And not only that, but they don't count towards the 25 citizen population cap that Atlanteans have, and you kind of like to get higher than that. Oh wow, he's going to find the citizen. That's pretty amazing. Shouldn't kill it. Yeah, it'll hide in the manor there. And now Shelty gets his valor, and he gets a citizen along with it. So that kind of counteracts this early pressure as far as like the economical damage, getting that valor onto a hero citizen. So it's about even overall. Nolus gets that relic for better armor, more hit points, plus 420 hit points on the town center, which already has plus 700. I mean, we're talking without any building upgrades, 3,920 hit points on that thing. And we've got Scotty also grabbing a forward town center, so they're doing the same thing. We've got both Raz also grabbing a town center, so a boomy map and a boomy game. A little bit of a fight down here where I think Miracle lost most of his units. Ooh, idle town center time here. Oh, he's grabbing a town center. This is not good. As long as how long he's been idle here. He doesn't have any villagers on food. This is awful. I'm no magician, no mathematician, no engineer, but when you don't have any villagers gathering food, you're never going to start making villagers. So this town center grab here is really not good right now. Resulted in a ton of idle town center time, which to the point is it worth it? Probably not. So Shelty's going to push back here. We could almost see well, you can't because there's rain, but I was going to say, like, you could almost do a shifting sands on all of these units so that Shelty can continue to push on this. But yeah, there's rain, and it's probably better to save your shifting sands anyway. And here's another rain, so back-to-back rains. It's nice to get your rain off first, and Joe did that because you benefit a little bit more from your rain as you do from the opponent's. Husbandry and plow, those are both important. And I would assume husbandry and plow, yes. I would rather the Pharaoh be empowering the town center. I feel like mathematically it's better. But yeah, so Miracle goes from putting the early pressure to building an extra town center, and Shelty's housed. This is like watching me. Here it comes. I mean, we've got this player with an idle town center for about a minute and a half because he didn't have any villagers on food, and now we've got this guy, he was housed. I'm not sure it's worth it to grab that early town center. Shelty's pushing around just trying to look for things to do. Likely should have started his own town center by now. Joe is up Pestilence. Nice shockwave there. Get on a ton of Terma. That was a huge shockwave there. Resulted in 5 dead Terma. That's about the value you're going to get out of a shockwave. How goes it, Maki? It goes well. I hope it goes well for you too. Ooh, and because of that shockwave, oh, we have the not the Pestilence, the Locust. A little bit of a miss on him, and Dover used shifting sands for that. Ooh, that's a god power you don't want to blow. on something like that. Like, he probably would have lost a few more villagers, but big deal. The shifting sands in the pocket is so much more worth it. And what do we got over here? We've got the Hades walling up and not fighting yet. Got the second wood upgrade. We've got the System of Bast for cheaper villagers. That's good. And not the second wood upgrade yet. But we have a third town center for Scotty. And Nolus / Abysme is only at 2 and is aging up. Probably get more value here out of building that third town center and just booming. But some nice pressure here. Now Joe has kind of got the advantage here because of all those god power usages. The Locust to slow down the Migdol, and it means that these villagers have to get pushed off of that forward gold mine. And I mean, his other gold mine is right here. Shelty could hit it. Coming up here to look at the villagers. He knows they're there because of this scout. So we'll get on this. Oh, pick off. This is big to get on the trade route early. It does so much damage. I mean, it's going to be 100 food just wasted for nothing. Like, really here, it's almost worth it just for Shelty just to sit right here and just prevent any trade, and that will further put Joe ahead. We can see he's already aging up Horus, so just a few units, then going Horus. You have to think it's going to be used here, and DoD is in a really good shape just based on kind of the early game. Okay, the Petsuchos has to come back, but ooh, Valor without villagers getting into it. Okay, so the Petsuchos is going to be destroyed shortly. There we go. And we will get back in on this market. And nobody got this, the Augsburg Wagon relic. Not a one. Oh. Wow, this is a lot of Prometheans, though. We got 7 Prometheans. You know, if you didn't run your Murmillo with the Prometheans, they would run faster. There we go. Alright, alright, alright. It's a villager kill. This is a lot of Prometheans. Oh, so Dauber also aging up very quickly through Tornado. We have the Restoration used. Should save the town center because the town center is not shooting at anything. So here's a big problem. Oh, it might kill it anyway. Oh, it does get it. It does get it. Tornado really sat on top of it for a very long time. And we got the Tornado up here. Dueling Tornado. So this one, oh man. This has killed, oh, this has killed a lot of units. Okay. I mean, the Restoration saves the Migdol, but I don't know if it was worth it using that Restoration because the units had already been killed at that point. Restoration, actually, oh, and here it is now kind of the Promethean see some use because there's no heroes here. And oh man, the Locust. Do you have a Shockwave? No, you could have Shockwaved it into him. Oh, watch out, this guy might die. Oh, he can't just stay there. He's gotta run, get in the house. Run for the hills. Okay. This is a fun exchange of god powers here. I would rather have seen the Tornado just used on this spot. You don't get as much value out of tornadoing an army in a Migdol. So it would have been nice to see it on the Atlantean, but we've got a pretty big push here. Just one siege tower though, so it's not going to do a whole lot. You gotta watch out your heal this guy up. You don't want to lose your. They're so strong, these Avengers. You don't want to lose them. Okay, all right. Oh man, eats it right at the end. Now Shelty, he's still okay. Be able to grab his town centers again. The Sentinels here actually did help out pretty well. And because, oh, we got an Underworld Passage. Where is that? Oh man, down here. So Scotty has his underworld passage. Isn't up yet, though. This is the one thing that going to town center instead of an early 3, you will age up a little bit quicker. Now this is Hades, not Zeus, so this town center won't go down quite as much, but we're going to have the earthquake, yeah, up here, flatten this. So now Sheltie is kind of wiped off the map, and we have Joe with shifting sands, shifting all these units, trying to get on the underworld here. This is a good shifting sands. If you kill this underworld, I'm going to save this town center. Very important to do that. And shockwave, villagers. Are there villagers coming through? No. Should have sent some at least through to maybe try to repair this or kill the siege. But okay, so wow, this has been a fun exchange of god powers here. Oh, we got a Toxote raid. Oh man, 2 villies down. The extra speed boost from Hades coming through. Yeah! Got it. And now they're all gonna die, but get all this damage into Sheltie, and that has now put him way behind Miracle Man, who though has Catapultes that you don't really make them if you're fighting against an Uranus. So the question is, now, Joe is in a very strong spot. 4 town centers to 2. We've got most of the god powers used at this point. We could potentially have some vortexes coming up. We do have an underworld from Scotty. So what Nolus has to do here, Nolus being the green player, is he has to keep the pressure up on Scotty, because if he doesn't, Scotty can then just switch and come up here. And there's no defenses up here. So on the other hand, what Scotty has to do is try to hold off Nolus, put up walls, towers to slow down any potential push, so that he can underworld up here. So it's going to be kind of a battle between the 2 of them. Now Joe here, old Joseph, should probably just come to this town center first. It's way forward. There's no way to defend it. Pushing through here. I mean, if you go through here, you kind of do quite a bit of damage. But I think you take the fruit from the low-hanging branches first, and that's right here. Oh, this guy's gonna improve my channel. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. Alright, so he's coming in. Take control of the trees here. Thank you very much. Starts pumping out the dryads. But this is a 2v1 for the most part, because Sheltie's kind of down and out for a while here. It'll take a while for him to come back, but Joe's got a nice chariot mass, and chariots in this situation are going to do quite a bit of damage. He's also close enough where he can pump out mercenaries up here, and that is very strong. And now here comes Scotty with the underworld, so he feels like he's able to hold this position long enough. I agree with him. There's only 2 siege units. Next one is way up here, and we are going to see now a triple. Would have maybe preferred to see this. I guess they're wanting to guarantee that they take this town center down, because I'm going to say you could put it back here. But we've got him here. And Nolus, this is a situation where maybe Miracle Man could have gone Hecate instead, because Hecate, the Tartarian gate, can be insta-cast on an underworld. So say he puts it here. Now, the thing is though, Scotty might actually be almost more of a, I need you guys to come through and help me out kind of a deal. If these Toxotes were shooting at the town center, that would be helpful. But they're not shooting at anything. But yeah, this is where they're kind of, DoD is throwing a lot of resources at this town center here when just saying, you maybe wanted to attack here first, but that's just me. But wait, what killed this town center? It was at like 1,000 hit points, and I turned away and it was dead. So yeah, attack here, that's the right thing to do. I don't know if it was these guys. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this game. We're only 19 minutes in. And oh man, while this is happening up here, we now got to come back through the underworld to save Scotty's butt. We'll see how this goes here. This is interesting. We've got Miracle Man down, not out, but Shelty's kind of not going to be doing a whole lot for a while. I mean, he's just funneling in medium term and medium Amarillo, which I guess is better than nothing. Oh, the Hika Gigantes could really kill this underworld really fast. Oh, he's going to get it, isn't he? That's pretty important, actually, because it takes out a lot of flexibility from DoD. So nice. We also have a potential vortex at some point. Miracle Man has no population. Where's his house? He's missing a house. Yo, you're short a house. Okay, here he goes. Yeah, we might actually see some vortexes coming in on, yeah, he's gonna vortex and start trying to push Shelty further back, or just keep him hard stuck in the area that he's at. Because right now Shelty's not doing a lot, and so you kind of hope that Dauber can hold off Joe. And yeah, here comes the vortex. We should have 2 Hika Gigantes in on this. They will kill this town center so quickly. Remember, they do double the damage that's shown. So they do 50 hack and 60 crush with each attack. And you can see this is just going down so quickly here. So now I like it. They were able to kill the underworld here. And now, yeah, these Hika Gigantes in this early mythic timing are so strong. Now, for whatever reason, and I'm not sure why, despite everything that's happened to Miracle Man, he seems to be in a better position than the Pocket Ra. So that's not good if you're the Pocket Ra. Yeah, we got these, now these, oh, this town center is still half dead too from earlier. And we've got the 2 Hika Gigantes coming down, and this is going to be the end of this town center too. And man, Shelty's to the point where it's going to take forever for him to come back. And not only does this put Shelty behind, but this is also the trade route town center for Joe. So Joe's caravans are going to be idle for a while. And the thing is, this is just going to stalemate. Even though Joe is way ahead of Dauber, Egyptian versus Egyptian tends to just stalemate. To the point where, again, Joe really should just fortify this position up and attack like here. Up through here. Miracle has a lot of army that he's waiting to vortex somewhere again. Or are you just going to kill this town center? Might as well. Finish off the last one of Shelty, who's going to be back to the archaic age in 21, 22 minutes. And we haven't spent a lot of time over here. What's going on? Alright, Scotty got Nolas's town center down. This is probably due to Scotty having Hephaestus, which means he's going to have all of the armory upgrades, surely. Yes, so he's 2 full lines ahead of Nolus, which that's the power of Hephaestus. That's why you go Hephaestus. Is you don't get that initial power spike that Earthquake gives you, but then 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later, once you have all of your armory upgrades, all of a sudden the power spike is gigantic, because your units just absolutely level everything else. Would like to see upgraded siege here. The siege engineers upgrade is so big, so would like to see that. Joe is just going to grab this town center. Why not? Might as well. The problem is you have to get the town center to Shelty at some point, as he's losing more citizens here that he apparently forgot about. It's not good to lose these. We've got 2 more Hika Gigantes. These, I think, are the same 2 Hika Gigantes. Okay, I guess these villagers are just going to hang out, but they're about to die. And this might be... I mean, Shelty's done. It'll be a long time before Shelty's back. Oh, we've got some Gastrophetes from Nullus here to get on this town center. Nice, nice. Gotta get this catapult firing at the town center. Okay, he notices. Alright, nice, nice. Get up there. There you go, slow that down. We've got some Seekers of Titans coming up here. Villagers chopping away at this catapult, but that's going to slow this down substantially, all the way down to nothing. But still, this should have been killed by this point. And this probably shouldn't be getting grabbed. But this town center is going to go down. And we do have one last vortex, which is scary if you're trying to build a Titan Gate on DoD's team. But what's also scary is this push that Scotty's putting in on Nullus here, where like even though Shelty is technically out of the game by score and settlement count, DoD is ahead. And that's mainly because Dauber, who's a solid player, seems to be missing this game as the Pocket Ra. Just inexplicably so. I'm not sure why, but it just seems like he's stuck in neutral. Like, other than casting Tornado, it's like, what has Dauber done? I'm not really sure. We now finally have this town center being grabbed. Dauber coming over here. I would have liked to have, like, for example, Dauber get this town center. You have Shelty now picking off the last of these units. We do have this one random fire siphon. It looks like Shelty is working at getting a town center here. And this is going to take so long, though. Like, pushing into Hades just takes so long. Like, still, though, no upgraded siege. It's such a big technology. Especially for Petroboluses, which gives them +2 range, which is fairly important. Plus 25% crush damage. That's big. You gotta get that technology. It's so big. You like that Auroch photo? I thought it was pretty good too. Uh-oh. Miracle's losing a few citizens here. Joe's starting to get pushed back because he has been fighting a 2v1 here for a while. But Dauber is a little slow to get things going. Upgrade your walls, finish this walls, get some upgraded catapults, pound the town center. We've got some Gastrophetes here that are also doing some damage. We only have one villager here for repairing, so that's a little bit of a big deal. If Miracle doesn't notice this, he's going to lose more villagers. I gotta think too that we're seeing some resources being tributed. Yeah, so Joe has given 4,000 resources to Shelty, which is at least, I mean, I'd said he's out of the game, but I mean, look, he's just killed 4 villagers. He killed some down here, and we've got kind of nothing as far as like build up over here, which is scary. But uh-oh, we had our last vortex here. I missed it right here. Love the comments about the Aurochs. I thought you guys might enjoy that, so yeah, I threw it out there. I mean, the Aurochs is a good looking beast of an animal, so I thought it's suitable. But this is a big push here. I guess you're putting the vortex here so that you can kind of ensure that finally we get Joe knocked off of this forward town center that belongs to Dauber. And maybe we can kind of, maybe Dauber can take this town center and start fighting back, and the push can continue through here. We've got a lot of Shelty's kind of taking over these things. We've got what was there, a catapult? Okay, so there's a catapult here. Yes, you are right, Hugo, as well. When the RC, the raiding cavalry, dies, it makes the dying sound twice. It's very, very strange. But we've got the Arcus here just get absolutely wrecked by the Terma, as long as the Terma are microed. The Arcus here, I don't know if you really need to make them. Like, it would probably be better just to throw up a couple more palaces and just go almost more into just pure champion fanatic. Does have the Pierce armor upgrade, and Joe's coming up here to build a bunch of towers. Dauber's building some spearmen. They are hopefully our upgraded Horus spearmen at this point. Let's see, what do we got for upgrades? Okay, we do have the Horus Spearman. Now, Horus Spearman, I mean, we got the technologies that Horus gives. We've got Spear of the Horizon, or Spear on the Horizon, which is plus 30% hit points. That's a lot. Plus 10% hack damage. That's good. And then this one makes them mercenary cavalry killers. Doubles their attack against cavalry, and also improves their hack armor. So these two technologies are fantastic. Two of the better military unit technologies in the game, actually. Yes, fanatics are very strong. Very strong. The downside, though, they can only get built in the palace. And we've got just one spearman here. Titan Gate used. He can use that because we had the Vortex get used, so no big deal. We still got this stalemate going on here. Hades versus Hades, just so hard to push. I mean, imagine Nolus here ever trying to push back. It's not going to happen at this point. So really, now Nolus just has to try to slow Scotty and hope that his two buddies on this side of the map can win. Unfortunately for Dauber and Miracle Man, even though we have the Vortex that got used here, Dauber was never able to grab this town center. And Dauber's floating gold. Miracle Man doesn't have much of anything. Nolus, this is kind of where you want to be late game. You don't want to be floating a ton of resources. But we've got a Titan Gate here. We've got Dauber with his own Titan Gate. We've got these towers getting built, and we also have Scotty getting his Titan Gate. And I'll say it again, is Dauber right now is a little bit disappointing with what he's done at this point. Looks like maybe he'll finally get this town center, which maybe that'll unlock him. That might unlock Dauber now. But would have liked to have seen him built up this side a little bit more by now. Because this town center is going to go down as soon as these catapults start coming in. There's no way to defend it. We've got the towers already put up, and there's no line of defenses. As soon as this position got taken, Dauber should have come over here. It should have been Dauber grabbing this town center, Dauber building forward to come and push through here. He never quite did that. We had this town center, got killed by a couple fire siphons. We've got Dauber now building over here. So finally Dauber's starting to spread the map a little bit. And this is what you have to do as the Ra, because your siege is so good. Your catapults late game are just so amazing. I mean, look at this position that we've got here. This is a really fantastic position for Dauber. He can siege all of this with his catapults. He's just too late. And it's getting to the point where, see, now we have some siege over here as well. And a few... So spearmen probably don't need to be made on this side. I mean, what are they going to do against all of this? Especially when they're trapped in this little cubby hole here. But Dauber does get this town center up. So that's good. But in a game where Shelty has been knocked out and it's been almost a 2v3 for a while now, JSS hasn't capitalized, and now we've got an issue where JSS may end up being one Titan up. Because this Titan will cross out with this one. But currently, Nolus doesn't have a Titan gate. I don't even know if he started researching it. And my apologies, but Kiki, I really am sorry. But it is what it is sometimes. So now the scary thing is though, so Joe here, because he was on the offensive for so long and all of his fortifications were up here originally, he doesn't have much down here. So with a good enough tower push and some more siege workshops, this push can come down here pretty quickly. The Titan will slow it down a little bit, but then the Titans will cancel each other out. It would be good for Joe if he can get this town center down during the Titan fight. So what you kind of want to do is Joe here is you just want to start the Titan fight next to the town center, because the splash damage from the attack will result in the Titan gate going down eventually. But yeah, now finally it looks like Dauber has kind of been unlocked. Achievement unlocked, which is late game raw. But yeah, we got Fire Siphon does very good against catapults or other siege. So this Fire Siphon is actually a pretty key unit here. But the villagers will probably chunk it down, and we would like to see some more. This is like the most inept siege wall I've seen in a while. But it's there. Alright, we'll just see. Alright, unfortunately Joe is not able to get his Titan up here, so now they will fight here in the middle and kind of cancel each other out. But Nolus never got his own Titan gate, and which is going to finally, I feel like, allow Nolus to, or not Nolus, allow Skadi to finally grab his 4th town center, because what Skadi can do, and he should have done it already, is come up here and get on this town center and get an even greater population advantage, to the point where then these units, these Gastrofatis that have been keeping the town center down, won't be able to be trained anymore. And yeah, he's gonna strike, get this. But I mean, look at this though. Both are both building upgrades. Nose of the Sphinx and the Hades makes this town center have 5,460 hit points. Takes a very long time to kill. Also does result in a lot of damage done to the Titan during that time. I mean, we've almost got 2,000 hit points chunked off just in its path and destruction of one town center. But your hope is that this will allow this town center to get up. We need to get this catapult out of the way, though. Okay, that siege workshop went down. Okay, yeah, just run around and kill the catapult. There we go. Okay, all right. Now it looks like this town center should be able to freely get built, and that'll really make it easy for Skadi to push through, especially with this Titan. But yeah, see, this Titan, in the end, isn't going to do a whole lot initially. It's just the fact that that Titan exists is allowing Skadi to get this town center, which then should unlock this matchup as far as now Skadi should just be able to roll right through Nolus behind this. This town center goes down. Like I said, Dauber a little slow to come over here. Miracle Man has been helping on this push up here, but unfortunately the siege did not get here quickly enough. And we've also got a lot of useless red units here. Your Atlantean in this situation doesn't give you a whole lot. Like the random few Arcus here just aren't accomplishing much, to the point where this is almost just a waste of 16 population, because you're just not going to get a lot of value out of them here. It would have been better if he would have put all his population over here to build more like fire siphons and punch this down and then come through down this way. Like at this point, you just kind of allow the Raz to just stalemate each other. And since you've already got a good position, just defend this. There's no need for these units to be coming here to help out. Oh, but what do we got? We've got this Titan with 1,247 hit points, and we've got Nolus just about... He actually probably doesn't even have that many villagers right now, and we've got a wonder. It's kind of the icing on the cake. How, even if JSS somehow holds up here and Nolus doesn't die, how are they ever going to get to this wonder? Hello, Ozone, welcome. This has been a spectacular game. I think it's starting to end here pretty soon with DoD winning. But the first 10 minutes was a little bit slow, but then God Power started getting used and a lot of things happened in a span of a few minutes. And JSS had a gigantic advantage at one point, but Dauber had an incredibly slow start to the game. And Sheltie was basically knocked out of the game at the 20-minute mark. But JSS couldn't take advantage of it. And now they're losing their side here. And it looks like this town center will become Joe's town center. This one is sure to fall soon. And this is just now your raw stalemate. And you're losing on this side, so... this game is... It's a very good game by DoD. They had a really good start and put themselves in a very good position. JSS had better use of those Mythic Age God Powers and kind of overcame that disadvantage by just absolutely blasting Sheltie to the point that JSS should have won this game. Just Nolus was inexplicably just too slow to get anything going, and never covered the map with enough like side builds and stuff. Like this should have been Dauber here. I think I said Nolus, I mean Dauber. This should have been Dauber grabbing this town center, pushing through here. Instead, Dauber just kind of tunnel visioned through this, and it just took so long to do this. And like now he's finally, after all this time, pushed Joe off of this town center. But it's too late now. Nolus is dead. Bad position for a wonder. Yeah, it could be better. I mean, yeah, you put it down here and it's probably untouchable. But the wonder is more so just to... It's probably actually they built this wonder just in case JSS started building theirs and got like a cheap winning win. He got a cheap win with a wonder despite losing the game. Yeah, okay, yeah, these catapults are coming up here. We've got Sheltie still doing his thing, stuck in, he's age 3 now. I thought maybe he was still age 2. Yeah, Sheltie, not a whole lot yet. 4 citizens here, 3 citizens there. No trade route. 3 citizens here, a couple over here, so 2 citizens here, there, and everywhere. But wait a minute here, we got this town center somehow being destroyed. What happened to Scotty? He has a ton of resources. Oh, okay, he's just spread all the way up here. Okay, he's taking this town center down, so... And Nolus might... Oh, is it down? So we're gonna go down. We've got one more... It's not, is it? Is it? Is it? Yeah, it does go down. So kind of like a last hurrah from Nolus. But didn't quite get what it did. A little too late, unfortunately. Because yeah, now Nolus is, or Scotty is all up in the back. Torn down 2 of Dauber's town centers. We do have this Titan gate almost up, but this Titan in the end lost a lot of hit points on this first town center, but has continued to kind of devastate the back of this the map here. So this Titan got a lot more value than I thought it would, and now Joe has taken over this side of the map. Well played by Dodd to come back after Shelty got flattened. Really well done. If Nolus could have won this 1v, or even just held this 1v1, maybe. But really nice game from DoD. Really nice game from both overall. JSS had some really good god power usage, but the play was not quite up to DoD's standards, DoD's level. Dauber just not what he should have been as the pocket Ra, and ultimately Nolus lost his 1v1-ish. I mean, as much of a 1v1 as you're going to get in a 3v3, really. Ended up losing his 1v1 to Scotty, and then that kind of ended this whole side of the map for them. But let's take a look at the post game. A long game to start this series off. You can see that Shelty, I mean, kind of eliminated, but it's a team game, so he got tributed. You got to assume the 5,000, and that's it. Only 5,000 resources tributed. That's not much, actually. Miracle Man tributed a bunch of resources to I don't know who. Probably Nolus. But yeah, this is a game that in the trading of god powers, Miracle got hurt a little bit, but Shelty got flattened, but didn't matter. The issue was they're just always behind town centers, but at this point here, JSS should have won if they would have played it properly. But hard to do it when you're playing the game live. So nice game though. This was fun game. We will give DoD their first win. Fun game. And we're gonna move on. Game number 2. All right, what have we here? Oh, Tundra Pools. So this is a home map. I don't know whose home map it is. I initially thought game 1 was maybe DoD's map, but then I saw that Dauber was playing, and that might have been Alfheim for Dauber. And even this map here, I could see both teams picking it. So somebody picked this map, and I don't know who. Tundra Pools. I really like it as a map. It's a really cool map with a lot to it. I mean, you have the safe back ponds for each team, but then you've got these side ponds on the edge that are now contested. You got a little bit of a forest in the middle. Now this forest is actually not a little bit of a forest. It's a huge forest. We've got this forest here can spawn like the Oasis in Oasis, the trees. So like this could be 1, this could be 2 with a hole through the middle. I think it can even be 5. Kind of smaller ones to allow more passageway. So this is kind of clogs up the middle. I'd like to maybe not see it spawn with this, but the difference in the middle forest here does make quite a bit of a how this forest wins actually changes the way the map plays considerably. Really nice deconstruct here. It's gonna really slow down the Norse. Kronos is a bit. Oh, I haven't gone over the civs, have I? We've got Shelty with Thor, Scotty with Loki, Joe with Set. Nice picks on this map. And then we've got Count with Odin. I like that too. Nolus with Loki. Yeah, I can get behind that. Miracle with Kronos. That's a bit, for this map, a little bit of an odd one. Because the ponds really aren't that close. However, if Miracle Man is smart, I think he's smart. And even if he doesn't do this, he's probably still smart. With Kronos, you can time shift dock. So if he puts a dock here, he can time shift to this one. He could time shift to this one. He could also, depending on which way the dock is facing, he could time shift to this one as well. So Kronos is actually that aspect of being able to dock on every every water without moving a citizen is kind of interesting here. Kind of cool. Now, Ozone thinks they chose some gods wrong. Are you saying that there maybe should have been a Greek? You are saying that. And I can see that. Like, sometimes I almost feel like that it's very rare that two of the same culture should appear in a game. It seems like the flexibility you get from an additional culture with different strengths and weaknesses is always going to be better than having two of the same culture. Like, you've got two Norse on both teams, and I could see one of those effectively being a Greek and giving you a little bit more value than just a second Norse. Now, it's not like Loki and Thor play the same, but it's nice to have that, you know, that just the skill set or the advantages of a different culture. Zeus is unbeatable on the map. Now, that's a bold statement for a map that hardly ever sees use. You mean like an Athena rush, so you get a safe back pond and do an Athena rush. Maybe. But yeah, the Chronos here likely will shut this down. We have another deconstruct. I just don't know if Miracle knows that he'll be able to time shift docks over here. Because yeah, your Chronos against a Thor here should insta win this side pond. And then you put the Chronos time shifts his dock in here and gets all the fish. But it looks like Miracle Man doesn't know he can do that. Otherwise he would have already done it by now. Down here we've got a little bit of a fight over this back pond, and we do have Scotty grabbing both back ponds, which is going to result in a huge Loki power spike. But the set losing water over here, which it looks like he will, it's going to slow him down. Now we have a vision used. What does Joe see? Is he thinking of an aggressive... Oh yeah, he is. And a forest fire. Alright, the forest fire, not a lot of value. The animals are attacking the town center. Count Von Count is AFK. Here he goes. Now he's noticed. And Nikan Bunny is the Pharaoh here. So the forest fire really didn't get a whole lot of value there. But this is scary now because we've got to shift on to the villagers to kill some villagers. We've got Herseer getting picked off by all these units, and we do have Scotty with the double back pond, which gives him a huge early spike. Now he doesn't have fish on these, but on the other side of the map, we've got the double over here, where we've had Shelty pushed off of his water, and we've got the enemy Loki on Shelty here. But Miracle Man, unfortunately, is not as smart as I thought he was, because there's no dock. Let me tell you something, if you don't know this. There's kind of the misinformation that you can't time shift docks because it doesn't work. That's not true. The only thing is, if you're going to time shift a dock, the destination has to have the same orientation as the location. So like this dock can only be time shifted if it time shifts to a shore where it's facing the same direction. So what Miracle needs to do is build a dock here, and then he can time shift the dock here. Now he gets a free pack of 6 more fish. He could also do it here and be really frustrating up here. But it doesn't look like he knows he can do that, and that's disappointing. So here's what's going to happen here. We got a double on this side. We've got a double over here. Who wins the double first? This is basically a base trade at 7 minutes. Who's going to win it first? I don't like Nolus coming over here to defend. This tells me that DoD is going to win this double. Maybe. I think he will. This is more of my opinion, and I don't have anything factual, but generally I would always say that aggression is better than reacting defensively. And what I mean by that is, rather than Nolus coming down here to defend, he should have just stayed up here and attacked. Sometimes you just lose way too much time having to move over the entirety of the map to help defend. But maybe I'll be wrong. The one thing, though, is that Joe really isn't helping out over here because he grabbed an early town center. So, in a way, I guess this isn't really a double because we've only got 2 axemen here. So, maybe Nolus is making the right play here. But I prefer the chaotic games, so if I were playing this, I probably would have just gone all in on Shelty as purple. But yeah, we've got a full-on kind of a double here. We've got some priests and the Pharaoh, which is gonna do some work. And if these Perseer can get knocked out, the myth units will live forever. But I don't think there's enough from Scotty right now. He doesn't have very many units, and the priests have been chasing after the axemen, and yeah, so JSS does hold this. So this probably was the right move to come over here and defend, because that was the scary part. And now that JSS has defended this, Nolus could come back over here and push against Shelty, who's already pushed back. He's building a dock. This dock should not be getting up. I do agree with you, Ozone. This is a fantastic map. Borderlands as well. There was no reason for players to hate the map so much that they forced it out by saving the game when it was at 1 second. What I mean by that is, well, we'll talk about the game. That's a discussion that can happen elsewhere. The push onto the base here is very important. If Nolus can push through here and keep this army down and flatten the houses, the forward base is gone. I do not know, though. Okay, so we have some raiding Shelty units, which is forcing Count back. Because otherwise Count would be up here and this would be a winning fight probably. So this has been defended now with a lot of axemen showing up. However, Shelty is way on the defensive still. We have a nice little raid coming in, though the villagers will start getting at the units. Yes, I liked Moat too. Very good. It's a very good map. All those maps really are probably, all 3 of these maps you mentioned are probably better than most of all of the maps that are in the standard map pool that we have now. And now we have kind of the rubber band effect where we had JSS get the advantage, push all the way up here, now kind of lose the advantage, and now the attack is back up to this area again. We have Count getting pushed off of his gold. He's going to have to come back here. Probably should have just been back on this gold mine to begin with. I guess there was some yellow raiders. What's happened up on this water? So Count has full control of the water. But yeah, we now have this dock back. This should be Miracle Man's fish. This should be Miracle Man's fish. Even maybe this could be Miracle Man's fish. Time shift those docks, but he's not. Opportunity lost. Now, does Miracle Man win this? We have a flaming weapons fight here, used defensively. And it'll allow him to clear up the army here of axemen and such. But you don't generally want to use your flaming weapons defensively, because then once you win this defensive fight, kind of the rest of flaming weapons is just kind of useless. But I guess the other hand is if you don't use flaming weapons here and you lose this position, you're kind of screwed. So kind of got to do it. But you definitely want to be able to use flaming weapons aggressively. Miracle Man is up to Heroic Age, but now has no army. Getting pushed back by all these Thor units. And this just goes down to, yeah, if JSS loses this, I would say one significant factor is is Miracle Man not coming to this side pond. Because if he has this side pond and all 6 of these fish, he is so far ahead of where he's at right now. And it was so very simple to do that, but he didn't, which is too bad. Now we do have Nolus on the offensive again here. This has kind of been a back and forth little match here where, you know, first DoD has the advantage, then JSS, and then it gets pushed back here. Now we have flaming weapons, and now it's back in Nolus's hands, and he is aging up now. Mythic, we saw him coming up with Tier, and we have Scotty coming up, and we have a town center that got flattened by a couple of behemoths, so that's awesome. We have a forest fire here. I guess it's to give some protection to the Herseer or something. They wanted to move in. Oh, killing this ox cart is very big, because now Shelty doesn't have a whole lot of gold mining that he can do. I'd like the little behemoth push here, the surprise behemoth push, but now they're kind of running all the way back, and looks like Miracle Man is going for a quick Mythic Age behind this, which I like too. As we saw last game, does he have the food to do it though? He seems like he doesn't have food. And now we have Scotty with the flaming weapons on 5 Herseer. It's not a lot of Herseer. And now we have Fimbulwinter coming in. That's gonna hurt. Alright, we've got one on Joe. We got one here. And another. Oh man, the wolf spawn up here is so bad for Shelty. Wow, the only good thing is at least the wolves kind of all bonk into each other, and they don't do as much damage as they could. But wow, the wolves on all of this is so hard for Shelty. Definitely taking the brunt of that Fimbulwinter. So again, just like last game, Shelty's kind of knocked out of the game, and we've killed this dock again. Helios is coming up. The fire giants here. Even though you've got Herseer from Scotty, the fire giants just have so much hit points that they live quite a while, even against Herseer. I have ancestors back here on this random gold mine. We already have 3 Vermillos, and not a fan of the set on this map. And that's it. Wow, JSS kind of putting in in the end, what was a pretty easy win here with Nolus way ahead of everybody. Wow, and he only had 1 fish pond. The problem was that it took a long time for Scotty to get on this fish. So JSS wins. I was maybe thinking they should have just gone all in and just flattened Shelty, but they come back and hold this position without without too much hassle, and then are able to keep up the aggression. So nice game here from JSS in the end. Maybe if I were playing, I might have lost it if I would have come up here. But another thing that I'm not really sure of is why was Nola so far ahead of Scotty here? Maybe it's because of the set. Because Scotty was kind of fighting by himself. Yeah, this set pick. I didn't really talk about it early on, but I don't know, a set here is what you want. Our resources quite a bit behind. Let's compare. sources here, so pretty similar. Not too different, but almost kind of popped off a little bit here, but really, you know, about the same. Just, I guess it's this one big fight here for Scotty that he lost a ton and he has to replenish it all. And he just never got much support from Joe. So not a great game from Joe here, but I'm not really sure this is a great map for set, especially if you lose the side pond like this. But that's a win for JSS. So we are tied up at 1-1. We now are at a best of 3. Hey, I don't have all my lights on. Let's put this on. Make me look a little bit healthier. There we go. Oh, lock preview, enable. All right. Game 2. Game 3 now. So now we're getting into, each team has played on their home map. I'm not really sure who picked which map, but each team had a home map. And now we're moving on to game 3, 4, and 5, which all of these maps will have been preset maps from like a week ahead that the clans, the teams knew what maps they were, so should hopefully have good strategies prepared. And some of these maps could be kind of crazy, so let's see what we got. Oh, I love this map. This is a cool map. But first, let's just quickly go over our players. Miracle Man is Kronos. We've got Nolus is Zeus, and then we've got a Gaia up here, so count as Gaia. On the bottom, we've got Scotty as Zeus. We've got Shelty as Odin, and we've got Joe as Ra. Zeus, Odin, Ra. I like JSS's composition a lot more. This is the only thing though, it is a bit of a walk for your Atlanteans, but the Atlanteans should take over the water here, especially the Kronos. This was actually a map that we, being the old boys, considered picking for one of our home maps. And it was something similar to this that we kind of had planned. But not quite. But yeah, similar god constructions that we had here. But this map, if you don't know, which you probably won't, because this might be the first time it's been used in a competitive 3v3 game. And you rarely see it in 1v1s. This is called Lumber Camp. The name is a little bit confusing. I'm not really sure why it's called Lumber Camp, other than you have piles of lumber scattered around the map, but they don't really do anything. But I don't know what else what would you call this map? Two streams? I don't know. So it's called Lumber Camp, but this is Lumber Camp. It's got decent hunt. Got these 2 long paths of water that connect each team. So it's a bit like Anatolia in a way, as far as you're going to have 2 players from each team dock on the water. However, the water itself, where the fish is placed, isn't super great. There's not a ton of fish in these ponds, streams, lakes, whatever you want to call them. So the water isn't super big. Equals, because it is an equal sign. Yeah, looks like an outlet. All right, it's like we got some ink blot like going on here. What do you see with this ink blot? That'll tell me a whole lot about your personality. Maybe the dock spam is okay here, but overall the fish isn't super great. So I don't know. You can see, I can see either way, but I feel like the Count Gaia should kind of take advantage of the Ra here. The Gaia should win the water here, even with the cheaper docks. What was the question you had, Ozone? You said something about random map in this map, but yeah, this is a fantastic map, and it's really disappointing to me that these kind of maps have never been accepted into the rated map pool, because, and the only reason is just because they weren't in it to begin with. So like, if instead of Midgard, this map would have been in the map pool and designed by Ensemble Studios, everybody would love this. Well, maybe not love it, but would be fine with this map. But because it's not, you can't put it in because people don't like it because it's not the original and it's got water on it, so we will refuse to play it. But yeah, this map is fantastic. I hate to say it though, look at all these stupid walls here, and he tried to wall his villager in, but didn't quite make it. But anyway, I could go on a little bit about that. It's kind of a frustration of mine. But we've got stuff going on. I don't quite understand your question, Ozone. I'm sorry. Can't you create a random map parallel to these maps? Do you mean the water going this way? Is that what you mean? I mean, you could. I don't know if you're asking that, though. Yeah, you could rotate kind of the water. Would be pretty easy. But yeah, this map is pretty good. Oh, you mean like a random map set? Yes, you can do that. In fact, I think that exists. Okay, so now we're seeing this is the power of the Chronos. Time shift forward here. Deconstruct a dock. Deconstruct a duck. Kill the dock with your other units, and this water should become the property of... Oh, we had the shifting sands on the oracles here to try to save this. Now, I just realized this, but Shelty did not go water, and that's dumb. I know the water isn't super great, but how can you not go water? That's really bad. Really bad. Yeah, I would have to see. There might be that ozone, but anyway, got some pressure here by Count, who's maybe a little bit in too far. We got the Carnivora kind of awkwardly placed a little bit. We got a forest fire on this town center. It'll kill that and maybe, you know, do some damage to the town center. Not kill it because it won't. And they'll have to move up here. We do, however, though, have... Where are these boats going? Alright, they're not going. Someone needs to tell Miracle Man and he can time shift docks. That needs to be somebody's mission. Because part of the struggles that they're actually having here, and the fact that Scotty, for the time being, is holding 2v1, is because Miracle Man didn't time shift docks to be right here, so that there's no defender's advantage. Because what you do is you time shift your own dock right here, throw a fishing ship in it, and then you can fight right under the docks because they're your dock. You got your own docks there, so it's not like there's a defender's advantage. But he's not doing it, and it's very frustrating to see. So if Scotty can hold on long enough, Shelty not going water will be beneficial, especially as he kills this citizen here. But yeah, not going the water at all. I mean, I can kind of understand it given the god choices where you're like, well, the enemy has Chronos. We're probably going to lose water anyway, so if I go on water and try to fight, I'm just going to be put behind. And anyway, the fish isn't super great. So maybe what we can do here is have Scotty kind of delay for as long as he can, which is kind of what he's done. He's built a lot of docks. And then hopefully Shelty in that time frame, while he's the only one on land, can kind of have fun and do a lot of damage. Nolus is being a little careless with his units here. I don't know why these... Probably would have just turned around and fought that, but oh well. Big carnivore usage here, very well done. Always cast it behind your opponent's ship lines because you don't really want to just move forward into your enemy boats because you're going to get pounded during that movement. And then the carnivore kills, insta-kills a ship and then does more damage on the way out. So now counts just retreat back to here. Yeah, wow. So Sheltie running past this army with his Ulsarks is preventing his town center from going up. That was a really bad decision in the end by Sheltie, because now he's not going to get this town center up because he just ran his units right through. And I mean, if he gets a ton of damage here, it'll be, you know, at least he'll have some kind of counter damage done, but so far that slowed him down a little bit by not killing that army when he had the chance with all of his Ulsarks. So we're probably gonna have to rebuild the town center, hopefully, maybe. Would like to see maybe JSS move just a few boats up here just for a little bit of naval assistance. Yeah, Scotty is definitely just playing. I'm gonna just delay on the water for as long as I can and be really annoying. We can see he's even trying to build another dock, and he's still making boats to fight. Actually, these boats are all pretty weak. If he targets properly here, I'll get the other big ship that's almost dead. Oh, so he didn't quite target. We had a bunch of ships that were like 1 hit point from dying, and he didn't kill them all right away. Got here, running around on land. Now, Joe is at 3 town centers, and Count wasn't quite able to do what he wanted to do on water. To the point where now it's just kind of a back and forth fight that's never going to change. Probably just the Egyptian eventually winning, get the insta-kill again with the Carnivora. A few more boats destroyed on the way out, but now again, Count's kind of got to retreat because this is not a good position. We have a restoration being used here where we have Nolus fighting a 2v1. No, this is not a 2v1. This is not one at all. Ignoring relics. Not necessarily. I mean, we got some relics last game, but yeah, they missed a few. I do agree though that especially in team games, players ignore relics or don't bother to check relics that they should get. So let's take a look really fast. Tusk the Iron Boar plus 10% cavalry and chariot archer hit points. It's okay. Shingles of Steel, more house armor. That's not going to do a ton this game. Harmonious Necklace, that's a good one, especially for Egyptian, plus 10% gold gather rate. More favor. Tail of Cerberus. Recharge time is faster for Mythunus. Now these, overall, the relics in this game aren't super great, but now the main thing is what we're seeing here is this is a huge push on this position by Nolus here. We've got a little bit of a rage still going on with these Ulsarks, but a little bit worried because the ignoring of the water by Sheltie just not a good choice. But part of it is just due to DoD's god composition wasn't super great. Now we've got a ceasefire being forced here. I don't like to have to use it this early, but it happened. Count, so although he hasn't won the water yet, though, he has also at 3 town centers. So he's pretty big. Now, the Ra will push over the Gaia eventually, but it'll take some time. However, it seems like count by count is a little bit slow to get anything going on land. Excuse me, burped. And this push here, if we see some elephants, which we do, this town center could be going down very quickly because it looks like count by count is, I don't know where his military is on land, but it doesn't exist. I guess is where it is. Alright, ceasefire's over. Let's see what happened here. We got some Toxotes from Scotty. We got some Terma here. We've got the Frost Giant. Frost Giant will probably turn this fight around pretty much instantly because there's only one hero here now because the other one died. So probably will have to fall back for Nolus. And yeah, this is scary. We have a pretty low value trader on a siege tower. This town center is still going to go down anyway. Count by count way too slow to start the land army. And he's going to pay for that. He's going to lose his town center. Probably put too much into water. Yeah, we see he's got even more boats. And like at this point, 15 minutes into the game, winning the water when your opponent's been at 3 town centers for so long and is probably at or near max villagers isn't really worth it to overproduce on the water anymore. And it's kind of what he did. So the Gaia here is going to be in a rough spot, even though a very high score, probably has a lot of resources in the bank. Not too many, actually, but he's in a bit of a bind. We have an underworld. Here. Underworld into the other Greek. We do have the Toxotes army coming back to defend. A lot of... There's the Frost. I'm going to say, we do have the Frost still to be used. The Frost is going to shut this down. Town center will be repaired in the meantime. Oh yeah, we're going to bring the villagers in to get on the underworld. We can also attack it. The underworld only has 69% pierce armor, so Toxotes actually do decent damage to it, and the town center does as well. So this will stop the underworld here. JSS ahead by score, but their position is starting to be a bit worrisome, mainly because of count on count. Is in a rough spot here because he was just too slow to get his land army going. And really was no reason for that. So he's behind, which is putting his team behind a little bit. Because this is allowing now these raids. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 villagers killed on this gold mine. Some more up here on the berries. Very solid raid. And now the underworld is gone, and so is the army, so a lot of units thrown in here without a lot of value out of it. Miracle Man is not yet heroic age, so he can't trader one of these frost giants yet. Grabbing this town center. JSS has map control down here, but it's in an unimportant spot. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't have this spot covered. And wow, these camel raids are doing so much. Wow. And this is just due to count being too slow to get a land army. So count kind of letting his teammates down a little bit here. Got another army going down, probably on this town center. Because the Norse army now is out of position somewhere. Oh, we saw it, but too late. So villagers down here too. Balder coming. Might finish off somebody. Where is the Norse army? Oh, Toxotes got distracted down here. Trader used on an elephant. Oh, we had Locust used. Wow. This raiding army has done so much. And now Osiris is up. Invoked Son of Osiris and Rain. This town center did get destroyed, but yeah, the Son of Osiris push up here because Count is just too far behind is going to be very scary. We do have Implode, which could help in the Ragnarok. Really, I don't think that Sheltie has that many villagers. We actually saw quite a few get killed here, which is every villager killed is one fewer Ragnarok. The problem, though, for JSS is they have 2 Atlanteans, and Ragnarok just absolutely pummels Atlanteans. And yep, kill him a little bit. You know, if you garrison the Osiris and ungarrison him too fast, the units that were attacking him still automatically continue to attack him. You actually kind of have to delay it a little bit. And now we have Baldur. In the end, I was a little questioning the strategy here from DoD for avoiding using, for the Norse not going water, which I still don't think was the right play, but JSS didn't execute as well as they could have. Oh, he's waiting for Scotty to age up for an underworld, isn't he? Yeah, that's what he's doing. But I think a little bit more effectively done, the Norse should have been rolled over by the Zeus. And now we have the Underworld Passage. You can't use Implode here because everybody will just pop back into the Underworld. So that hurts the fact that we have an Implode that... Oh, it was used and I missed it. That stinks because Implode's cool. Okay, it was used here. And that's GG. Ragnarok with Underworld wins the game. Just... I liked JSS's gods a bit better. The way the early game played out, I liked JSS, but the execution just wasn't there. And the big thing was, on a map like this, I know it's historically you'd say, oh, Ra will roll Gaia. It's actually, the Gaia should be able to stand up to the Ra in this matchup on this map. I'm not saying win, but definitely not get pushed back like this, lose the town center, allow this raiding army to come in, and that raiding army did so much damage. And a little bit of Count One Count's fault there overall, but the Gaia should be able to keep up with the Ra here, and didn't. And that's partly, I mean, when you think of Count One Count, you don't think of a Gaia player, you think of an Egyptian, or a Greek. No, not Egyptian, not Greek, you think of a Norse player. But yeah, Scotty way behind. Even Sheltie, his economy is pretty bad. Like JSS economically is ahead. They just did a worse job of managing their resources that they had. Not a super good game by JSS here, unfortunately. So that's game number 3 goes to DoD. 2 good clans here, really good. But despite that, when you watch these games, you can still see that even the best players, the best clans, making some mistakes, and sometimes some pretty significant ones. Move on to game 4. This was Lumber Camp, fun game. I'm Ryan, you're welcome. Good morning to you too. This is moldy. I don't know. This must be a name of something in a different language, maybe, because it means nothing to me in English. Team games, not a fan. That's too bad. I love team games. I love 1v1s too, but team games to me is where Age of Mythology shines because of the ways the god powers all interact with each other that you don't get in 1v1s. So this is mold or moldy or something. Someone wants to look up mold and tell me why it's called mold. M-O-L-D-E. That'd be nice. But we've got JSS down the bottom. We've got Loki, Oranos for Miracle Man, and then Oranos. They can't pick this. You can't go double Oranos here. Because the rules of the tournament are you can't play with the same god on your team. Wait, I'm an idiot. Scotty and Miracle Man are not on the same team. I was fooled because the spawn on this map is a bit goofy. Because these three players are closest to each other. But this dude is on his own team, and he's kind of far away from his teammates. But so is Green over here is kind of far away from his team. So a little bit of a funky spawn here, where Scotty is kind of way away from his team. So let's Oranos, Pocket Loki, Odin. My count. Shelty is Odin. Joe is Loki. Scotty is Oranos. So we've got, again, the same god power, or not god power, the same gods by each team. In this case, unlike the Alfheim game, where the gods all faced off against each other. No, it's the same. It's the same thing as somehow in Alfheim, the same thing here on Mold, is that Odin is against Odin, Loki is against Loki, and Oranos is against Oranos. That's so cool. Now we get to see who plays it better. So, if you don't know what Mold is, kind of similar to the other maps we've seen, it's no surprise because it's not a map that gets played very often. This is actually a very old map. This was a map I added into the RTS League pool. Well, me and Blackadder added it in. This is an old map. I think it was originally put on Age of Mythology Heaven, like in 2005-ish or so. So this is not Rebels Rising, if you know who he is. He did a lot of our newer maps, and fantastic job. This is one of the older maps that I kind of just grabbed from some unknown, I don't even know who it is, off I believe it was Age of Mythology Heaven. So this map is actually not going to be as fine-tuned as Rebels Rising's map, and it's going to be a little bit kind of non-standard with the way it plays, and you can kind of see that with just like the way the hunt spawns. It's like they're kind of on top of each other. Like this is a hunt spawn, this is a hunt spawn, and this is a hunt spawn. Normally maps have kind of parameters that prevent one hunt spawn from spawning so close to the next one, but this map doesn't, so we kind of got these kind of gobs of animals here. It might actually be, and then we've got like predator animals spawning within your hunt packs, and this is also a wide open map, but also has some stuff where, like on most standard maps now, you don't see gold mines spawning this close to the town center. So this map is kind of more similar to the old maps, the old Ensemble Studio maps, the way they were designed back in the old days before they kind of got all their patch updates to make them a little bit more fair, but also a little bit more standardized, where sometimes the wildness that you no longer see is kind of missed in the maps. And like, this is kind of crazy. I mean, you don't see this kind of hunt spawn in other maps, and here it all is. But yeah, wide open map, so that's and a lot of hunt, and that's why we're seeing double Norse, Atlantean, Oranos. So they're both teams pick the same gods and are really valuing mobility, because that's what all of these gods give you. I like these little random Ghost Lake-esque ice. And yes, the town centers are also kind of close, which... Oh, the forest fire shockwave kills 4 villagers. That's huge. Really fantastic here. This is A reason somebody earlier, Loki Logos, I think it was, said, I don't like team games. I love team games. Stuff like this is why. You can't see this in a 1v1. You have forest fire, shockwave bounces the villagers into the forest. It's awesome. I love it. Oh, you poor dead villagers didn't have a chance. Love it. Love it. It's awesome. Downhill Dave. Hello. Good to have you on board. I like it. Downhill Dave. What is, I wondered, like, are you like the neighbor of a person that lives up on a hill, so therefore he calls you Downhill Dave? Or is your life going downhill, in which case, hope you straighten it out. Similar to Count Von Count here, who definitely is downhill with his villagers all dying there. But what do we got? So now we're going to see units all over the place. All three of these gods have very high mobility, so we're going to start seeing raids all over. It's kind of become the name of the game of this game is going to be who can pick off some villagers, force the enemy player into the base, and go from there. Yeah, the town centers do spawn a bit close. Now this town center is probably actually Miracle Man's. And again, that's the downfall of maybe sometimes some of these maps that aren't quite as fine-tuned, is now you get maybe a little bit of imbalance with where the town center spawn. Big shockwave here. But we've got the Herseer running in, which is going to force Miracle Man back. Where are Red's units? Oh, he's having to defend yellow because green, the shockwave put green far behind. So that kind of very little difference is very big, because if you get on the offensive, you can force all sorts of damage and keep the opponent on defensive, which then gives DoD more access to hunt, which is the fastest gathering resource as far as food. So then they get further ahead and further ahead and further ahead as they continue to be able to hopefully hunt. But we do have just a few Herseer up here, just 3. Somehow they must have been knocking on this manor for quite some time. I don't know if the citizen died, or I don't see a dead citizen here, so I don't know where it went. They went running all the way back home. Oh yeah, we've got units from Joe raiding over here. We've got Scotty over here. We've got Shelty right here. And currently the only army that's offensive for JSS are these 3 Herseer. And unfortunately for Count, he's a little bit caught out here where he does not have the army that he needs to win this fight. And because he got caught out so far, now he's got to turn and fight it, and this is not a good fight. And it's a fight like this that can really put your team behind forever in a game, because now that Count lost his first army, how is he going to be able to defend this position? Especially with these Ulsarks all rolling in already. Like, just that initial shockwave into the forest fire, slowing Combat Count down, killing villagers, now putting him defensive, now getting pushed off of hunt, just creates so many problems beyond that first problem, to the point where it's going to be tough for JSS to bring this back. Let's see, catching a few more villagers. 1, 2... The Ox Cart is getting whacked. Throwing Axemen are here, but you don't want them in melee range, and now the Ulsarks pull out. The reason players are picking Odin these days, there's a few different reasons, but one big one is that Odin has access to Lone Wanderer, which gives Ulsarks plus 10% movement speed. Might not seem like a lot, but what it does is it puts the Ulsark over 5 speed And the reason that's so important is because most range units can only hit a unit moving up to 5 speed. So the fact that the Ulfsark becomes 5.28 means they can no longer be hit by archers if they're moving. And that's big, along with also the little extra mobility that it also gives as well. Now in this matchup here, there's not a whole lot of range units, so it doesn't really matter, but like against the Ranos, it's huge because then those Terma can't ever hit your Ulfsarks as long as your Ulfsarks are running. And that's one big reason why Odin has been getting picked a lot. Also, he gathers hunt faster. And so on a high hunt map, he'd pick it. But yeah, we've got these Terma getting eaten up by these Ulfsarks. The raid looks great, but the dead Terma look a lot worse. And here's your value with your Ulfsarks. And not only that, as long as the one Ulfsark keeps hitting, okay, didn't quite keep hitting it, but yeah, you're gonna chase those away. And because they're barely slower, they kind of keep up for a long time. Yeah, throwing axemen are coming down somewhere down here to come play. And we've got Joe now on top of Miracle Man, and this game has gone south for JSS very, very quickly here. Units down here from Scotty getting chased away, but see, this is what he does. So this is what's so good. You split your units up into multiple groups. Oh wow, he missed a little opportunity here. I don't know where his units are going, but what I was saying is, we have flaming weapons being used up here. There's nothing to defend this. This could be the end of the game already, right here. This flaming weapons push. If he gets this town center down, it's kind of going to be the end. We got a villager down. We got a lot of myth units here. 4 trolls. Yeah, game over. Just like that. Wow, this last game here was a bit of a steamroll. It's the difference of the Norses here. Initially, Miracle was doing okay against Scotty, but then the Norses on the 2 Norse, I guess Norse is maybe the plural of Norse, but the 2 Norse or DoD just really took control of the game, and a lot of it just comes off of this initial forest fire plus shockwave. Killing 4 villagers at 5 minutes is huge, and what that does then is put Count von Count pretty far behind Shelty, and a good player like Shelty will take advantage of that and keep Count von Count behind for the entire rest of the game. And that's what happened. It gives DoD priority on the map. They stay offensive, they stay on the opponent, pushing them off a hunt, slowing them down, while DoD can essentially just happily hunt and do whatever they want all game and take the advantage. So this was a bit of a clinic, this game by DoD. Just one little advantage into a whole lot of advantage. So that's DoD takes a series, right? Yeah, 3-1 over JSS. Really well done series here by DoD overall. Had a couple nice games that they won that they probably should not have. That Alfheim game to start off the series, JSS should have won that game. The game immediately prior to this, Lumber Camp, JSS had a better game plan, but did not execute, and DoD won that as well. So, in my book, on paper, the series should have been won before this by JSS on the previous map. But instead, they lost. So, yeah, it could have been a 3-0 to JSS if they would have played the games a little bit better. But I guess you could probably say that about every game. So, you know, let's give DoD their credit. They played well. They played better than JSS. Fantastic job. Really well done. So they move on to the semifinals. Now, this also doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. How in the world is JSS ahead in economy? Hold on, I can sneeze. Bless me. Oh, wait. I don't. Yeah, how weird that they're at an economy. Would not have expected that, but behind in military. 48 killed, 32 lost. 19 killed, 34 lost. 18 to 16, not a whole lot count behind. Mellis is one. So, yeah, Shelty taking a good fights, and Joe. So, yeah, it's the Norse. The Norse carried. Well done. Fun little series here. Would have liked to have seen it go to game 5, but some interesting games. I love the maps. This is really fantastic format by Boyd here, preventing each team from picking the same god twice, also requiring these kind of random maps getting thrown in that are just as good as the standard maps and probably even sometimes better. Nice to see them getting played. So well done, DoD. That's going to be it for tonight. That is the series. DoD wins. The Aurochs doth favor DoD tonight. So well done to them. Thank you for watching. I had a good time. It's been a while since I'd done all these recorded games, so it's kind of fun to be able to do some of these recorded game streams that we were able to do the last week. So that's pretty cool. So we've moved on now to past the semifinals of this tournament, but it's double elimination. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 4 more series left. I'm going to try to do all 4 of this series. But that's going to be it for tonight. Yeah, so there we go. We got some good teams with the wins, good teams with the loses. I mean, all 4 of these teams are really good. DoD, they always play so well in team tournaments. Like, you have players like Joe and Fox who haven't really been active lately. They show up and they just play so well. And that I'm kind of envious of that because I can't do that anymore. I mean, I can't play well anyway, but like these players come back after not playing for like months and like within a week they're like it's like they weren't even gone. Yeah, that's a level of talent that I don't have. But all right, I'm gonna send you guys over to somebody. Von Kiki's been kind of sad that I have more viewers than him, so send you guys over. Thanks for watching, everybody. It might be a little bit before I stream again. So that's all.